And we're here.
All
So,
right.
dude, it's warm. I like
It's
it.
fucking warm. Yeah. Yeah. This it's I don't remember the last time it was this in fucking November.
Yeah, right. So, I said, I mean, oh God, climate change. Yeah, climate's always changing. Again, my feelings on this are just simple. You've got two sides of the debate. Both of them are compelling. I think that, where man is definitely contributing something to it,
Hmm.
it just makes sense to me. But then when you look over the span of like 1,000 years, you see that I mean we had an ice age for crying
Yeah.
out loud. That we know of. I mean, it's you got to look. The Earth is like billions and billions of years old, man. It's like you know, we're just a small. The problem is people look in they want change and things to happen within their lifetime.
Yeah.
Because we only live a short period of time. So, you're looking at the stuff, especially when you want to, social change. People aren't looking back to what it was like to be homosexual and trans even in the 70s and 80s compared to now, or what it was like in America to be black in, the 60s, 70s, and compared to now. It's night and day. You can't compare the two.
Right.
So, it's I don't know. Yeah, it's obviously warmer, dude. I remember, but we went from like global warming to climate change because then when sometimes it gets cold, it confused people. So but I remember when I was a kid, the river by my house would freeze over. We'd ice skate on it.
Yeah. And you'd be doing
And
that in
this is
fucking
like
July.
yeah, and this is like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I'm like, so, you know, I'm like, I don't yeah, I get it, but you know, I'm like, I just think that people, again, in of, on the cusp of, I mumbled my ass off, on the cusp of like midterm elections, people tend to freak out. But now the one thing that stuck in my head, and the one thing that people need to remember, if there was such a huge, if it, like they've always said like shit was going to go to hell in a handbasket in in the next 20, 30 years. I'm like, it's constant. It's constant. Um but if it were that bad, right, would former President Obama purchase a vacation home on an island?
Exactly.
Right? Would they be giving mortgages, 30-year mortgages for beach homes or homes within these areas? You can still get insurance. You can still get, financing. It's not like the bank's not looking at you like, no, we're not touching that. No, man, they do the fucking studies. They know what's going on. Even with the global warmest on the smallest account over the next 20 to 30 years, are saying the oceans are going to rise like 5 feet, right? 10 feet. I'm like, holy crap! If ocean rises like 2 feet, even a foot, the beachfront homes are going to be underwater.
Right.
So, why were they even, why would you be giving, mortgages to these homes? So, you know, inject some common sense into it and, leave it at that. Um, Speaking of politics, segues are for children. Um, you heard about the attack on Paul Pelosi, or the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi's husband.
Yeah. No, I haven't heard about it.
Oh, okay. So it's so when you first hear the story, a guy is 40 something years old. He breaks into his house and attacks Paul Pelosi, Speaker of the House. This is a picture of Elon Musk. I want to put the guy up. His Nancy Pelosi's husband. Nancy Pelosi, if you don't know, is very okay. She's a very successful stock broker. Um, since they're, she does better than Warren Buffett every day. Since she's like worth, since becoming a senator, she's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, one thing insider trading, if you and me had, knew something about a company that, let's say they got a favorable court ruling, or let's say they're coming out with a new invention before it's made public, and we went and bought that company's stock, and then it comes public and the stock goes through the roof, we would go to jail and be fined a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
If you're in our government and you know of a ruling in favor of a company, or let's say, I don't know, you're going to do mandates for vaccines for Pfizer and Moderna, and you knew this was happening, you could go buy that stock before you started promoting it and make a shit ton of money.
Exactly. Just fucking drive it right up.
Right. You'll buy, shit, and that's what happens. And that's how, because a senator, when she's been a senator for fucking ever, she's probably joined, like, I don't know, she's 20, 30 years. She probably was making like under $100,000. Now they only make like $250. I think maybe. I think the president makes like $400. So that's not $100 million, gig. But they've made there used to be a website called, Pelosi Trading or whatever. You could go on the website and trade with, they tracked her trades, her and her husband's trades. And so you could follow them and actually make money, and they fucking took it down. This is bullshit. But anyway, so the one thing I will say she did do good, is that when China said, don't go to Taiwan, or basically shoot your plane down, she's like, fuck you, and she went. So that was cool. So anyway, so now you have this story breaking of this guy breaks into their home with a hammer and attacks Paul Pelosi with a hammer, yelling, "Where's Nancy?"
Jesus.
Right? So at first I'm like, oh, great. Another MAGA idiot, right-wing knucklehead doing this shit. So, a couple interesting things about the story. First, some people were asking, well, where's their security? They've got hundreds of millions of dollars. They're in a very high-end neighborhood. Where's the alarm? Didn't have security detail? Well, first, he doesn't get a security detail. Nancy does. Nancy's in Washington, so he's in their California home. Yep. Of course, by the way, if you don't know, Nancy Pelosi is one of the high-profile politicians who's talking about closures and mask mandates, and meanwhile she is on video without a mask getting her hair done at her favorite salon. Yep. Right in the middle of COVID. So again, it's like there's a very controversial figure, a lot of bullshit. She's a criminal, like many people in politics, both right and left. So, no security detail. Husband doesn't get a security detail. And people, again, were saying, well, where's the security? Where's the security? The one thing I will say on this, I'm like, there's a very good chance that they have a security system, but nothing was turned on. Right? I live in an affluent area. People with that amount of money and more, not me, it's them. And we constantly have people leaving their key fobs in their car. People leaving their doors unlocked, their alarms off. There's something that happens when you're really wealthy or live in nice neighborhoods. You feel entitled that you don't have to fucking do that. Yeah. Right? You're like, I live in a nice neighborhood. What should I worry about? Crime doesn't come here. I paid for all this, because I should be safe. And there's like a little act of defiance by leaving shit open, We got, again, cars get stolen all the time for people just leaving their fucking fobs in there. Criminal goes in, just boosts the car and leaves. If they're not home and they have car keys, they'll go in the house. They don't even need to break a window or anything like that. So, having a security system and not having on is a highly, very likely scenario. So now's where the fuckery starts coming in, and there's some bizarreness with this. First, this guy, who, by the way, is an illegal immigrant. He comes from your lovely country.
Yay.
Oh, Canada. And he's been living illegally in the United States for about 20 years. So he's an illegal immigrant, which is, there's irony to this. It also says, to go along the right-wing slant, that he had some post under his name, I guess it's Dave DePape, Dave DePape, that he was like a QAnon guy, far right, had blog posts about, big tech, controlling freedom of speech and all the other shit, which is funny because at the time they wrote this article, they took his website, they took his post down. So while he's complaining about free speech being controlled, that's exactly what happened. Right? So they're like, all right. Now, here's where it gets a little nutty. The guy is like where is it? He's like a nudist activist, and his girlfriend was completely left-wing out there. So he literally was like living with this woman, what's her name? Yeah, she's fucking crazy. Okay, yeah, so he was part of this group that was spoken out against the ban nudity in the Castro district of the city. He was part of a radically gay male prostitutes that parade around naked with cock rings on.
Jesus.
So, sure, listen, I'm all for, look, I got right and left leanings, so I'm like, okay, but it's starting to get a little fucking weird. So, the rumor is that Paul Pelosi is gay, picked this guy up, brought him back to the house. They got into an argument because apparently the hammer belonged to Paul Pelosi. You would think like this first started, the guy broke into the house with the hammer, found Paul Pelosi and started attacking him because he was some fucking MAGA maniac. But it's not. They're also saying that the broken window may have, been caused by the police trying to do a wellness check on the house because nobody heard from it. Then there's a 911 call where he said that my friend is here and he's getting agitated. He referred to the guy by Dave. So you've got everything from like, this is a homosexual encounter gone south to, a complete right-wing fucking assault. And, the cops responded, couldn't get in the house, and then broke it through the back window. And only one cop was on the original call. And if it's a wellness check, that's what it's going to be. They're not going to bring the whole fucking squad. So, Elon Musk tweeted this story from this this paper. This is the Daily Mail. This is not. There's another one like this, Santa Monica Observer, which reported some other nonsense about the right, which is, which wound up to be not true. This is just saying, Musk had tweeted that Paul Pelosi's attacker was a gay prostitute he met during a bougie night out. Yeah, shared a link to the Speaker of the House husband left the San Francisco gay bar with the subject prior to assault. No longer appears on. Yeah, he deleted the tweet, which is probably just as well, right? Because, there's due process. You got to let these things happen. But it was like Musk had was just attacking me. Okay, so Hillary Clinton, his response until that Hillary Clinton claimed that the attack on him was the result of Republican mouthpieces spreading hate and deranged conspiracy theories. And then, Musk was just like, this seems to be something a little more than meets the eye. Of course, they're going to want to spin it. So the headline of the article, the awful truth, Paul Pelosi was drunk again and in a dispute with a male prostitute early Friday morning. So this guy who's also a gay nudist and activist isn't exactly the Republican spokesperson.
No, he's not.
Right? So it's weird. I mean, and allegedly attacked with a hammer. I mean, there's a lot of these facts that, we're not sure whose hammer it is. We're not sure how he got into the house, if he was invited into the house, if he broke into the house, if the cops broke into the house. Yeah. I just, when you're looking at this stuff and what's going on, it's like there's always more to it than meets the eye, but it's going to be a simple explanation, right? If he's got, this guy's probably going with, public appointed attorney. So his public defender is going to be, who knows, right? So I don't know. Yeah, they got the bomb squad. They got everything going on here. It's just, I hope for our country's sake, it is a gay thing gone bad. Again, we don't want, some right and left violence, and people don't. I can just do with your vote. Do it with, what you want to talk about. That's fine, but don't turn it into violence. So I hope it's a gay thing. Not that it's a gay thing; it's a sexual thing. Oh, what the fuck? So it's,
Are you allowed to say a gay thing? Can we say that?
It is though, right? I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm so confused. I'm so old. I suck. I suck. So yeah, again, call it this shit. What's going on with our country? Across the board. I'm like, and it's the culture. Like we've got to just start talking to one another. Not jumping on a fucking, taking a position and drawing a conclusion right away. There's too many things. If this guy was a good man, standing member of the Proud Boys or, QAnon, he may be in QAnon, who the hell knows, and, was like at rallies, was taking pictures, I'm sure if there's a picture of him at a fucking QAnon rally or wearing a MAGA hat, they would have found it and posted it.
Yep.
Right. So, it's clear that this is something going on, but they'll look to turn it into whatever to fuel it, especially with midterm elections. And, it's like, dude, let's let the fucking process happen, see what the facts are, see what this guy has to say, because he hasn't said shit yet. Right. So, I'm sure hopefully he's lawyered up and, is going to speak his truth and then, determine what's what.
Jesus.
Yes. So, again, it's not his hammer. Where the hell the hammer? It's like, was Paul hanging a painting? So now there's questions. They're both in their underwear, by the way.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, he was definitely in his underwear. So the guy, so if he's wearing his underwear, obviously he's a nude gay activist. or a bi activist who apparently, did a lot of ayahuasca and shrooms and shit like that. He was dealing drugs. Again, the more you look at this guy, the more he doesn't fit the right wing profile.
Well, maybe our buddy Paul there just wanted to get pounded, and Dave just took it the wrong way.
Right. Right. Oh shit.
Not good.
Yeah, it's just pound me, okay?
Because Canadians,
Okay.
we get a little confused. We take shit literally.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, he's Canadian. He could be tripping his ass off. He's in his underwear.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody noticed this guy coming in. I mean, his Uber driver. I mean, did he ride his bike there? Did he run there?
He rode a moose across fucking naked. We're good.
Right. Right. How did he get there? How did he show up in his underwear? Were their pants at the scene? So if their pants, did he break in, take his pants off? I mean, what part of the process is he taking his pants off? Right? I don't understand. So to immediately jump out and say this is some right-wing shit, you can't. You can't. If he was on his Harley at the MAGA rally, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Well, didn't you say he was like a nudist? Maybe he doesn't own pants. Who the fuck knows?
Possible. Dude, wait. Yeah, man, I got it. Like the woman he was living with, hold on. You gotta see this fucking chick.
Is she the reason he's gay?
Gypsy Taub. Okay, former Parker reveals new details about the subject. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're gonna hold on. I gotta share. See, I don't want to do that. Tab. Okay. So this woman, Gypsy Taub, the one on the right is, some crazy activist. Well, she used to be on the right. Maybe she'll come back. Former partner, the man accused of violence. Oh, come on. Ads are killing me, Smalls. Former partner of the man accused of violently attacking Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband at their San Francisco home on Friday is revealing new details about the subject. Hello, this is Gypsy Taub. I'm the ex-life partner of Dave DePape and mother of his children, said Oxane Taub, calling from the California Institute for Women in Corona, California. Just see if that stands for, no, I thought it spelled clip, but it doesn't. Okay, so Taub, better known as Gypsy, is a well-known nude activist who spoke with ABC7 in 2013 at a protest in San Francisco. We just wanted to test the waters, see how much the police department respected our First Amendment rights, Taub said in 2013. Now she's revealing a long-time relationship with David DePape. I'll never get his name right until somebody tells me how to say it. He is mentally ill. He's been mentally ill for a long time. Who last year she was found last year on 20 counts, including the attempted abduction of a 14-year-old boy near Berkeley High School. Yeah, dude, she was trying to bang this kid, and she's like 50 something. Yeah, so the world is fucking. The fact that we like these people get attention is fucking still strange to me. It's like, and that's like we got what's going on here, right? Meanwhile, she's like, she could be a lot worse looking. She's not beautiful, but she's not like fat or, which is, you could do a lot worse, kid. So anyway, sorry, can't help it. 14's fucking young. 13, it's gross. It's fucking gross. She's the fucking child molester. There you go. Taub told ABC7 that she met DePape more than 20 years ago. Together, they raised their 2 sons and their daughter until about 7 years ago. She described the time DePape returned home after disappearing for a year. Came back in very bad shape. He thought he was Jesus. Everyone does. He was constantly paranoid, thinking people were after him, Taub said. And it took a good year or two to get back to you. being halfway normal. Did he ever show aggression towards politicians or his political beliefs and extreme, in your opinion? When I met him, he was 20 years old. He didn't have any experience in politics, and he was very much in alignment with my views, and I've always been very progressive. I absolutely admire Nancy Pelosi. Okay, which means this is, okay, now there's some more. She sends the following message to the Pelosi's. I would express my deepest apology to Nancy Pelosi and her husband for that terrible, tragic thing that happened. That's it. No insights. I mean, that's the insight.
Fuck.
I'm sorry to waste everybody's fucking time. Jesus Christ. You know, I was thinking it was like he was the blog, but he's clearly, you know, she's paying him as mentally ill, which he clearly is. Yes, George.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but I got this bloody train going by too. So.
Oh, right. So, yeah. I don't know, dude. It's still. I still think this is all, you know, going to be. I think the explanation is going to be a lot funnier than some right wing, you know, mentally deranged attacker. I hope so. I need something funny. I hope it's an 82-year-old man trying to wet his whistle and just gets, you know, hammer time.
Hammer time.
Literally, that was the meme. It was great. It was like, Nancy's like, you want to go out? Paul's like, no, I'm just going to stay home and get hammered.
That's awesome.
That was it. All right. So on that note, yeah, I don't know. Hell in a handbasket, people. We are going to hell in a handbasket.